out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts. Shout out to everybody out there on Team Banky Pound. As y'all can see, I'm out here with Star, aka Terrell Star Kelly. Yeah, we just finished getting a good little workout in, shooting a little hoops or whatnot. Out here on the beach. I brought y'all with us, got the camera, you know, chop it up a little bit with my homeboy. He came on down from Danville, stayed down here a couple of weeks with me, you know, fresh out of the penitentiary after 24 years. Came out here, man, I'm trying to pay it forward and show him, you know, a few things that I learned when I first got out. Y'all know I ain't too far removed from that. So I'm trying to show it to him. And, you know, that's what you're supposed to do. Each one teach one. I had to learn when I came out here. And I'm just showing him a few things that I picked up on thus far. Y'all know I still got a long way to go. But it's all good. But this family right here, man. So y'all already know them because y'all seen my videos. If you've been watching, if you have not, shame on you. You know, but talk to them, man. Let them know who you are, what's going on with you, how you enjoying yourself out here.
Yeah, I'm good, World. Banky, first of all, I want to start by saying thanks, man, for bringing me out here, bringing me under your roof, and let me stay these couple of weeks with you, man.
For sure.
We built, when we was on the inside, man, we built memories in there, and then now that I'm out here, we building new memories, man, on the outside of the fence, man. Thanks for showing me all the eateries and restaurants around here.
Yeah.
The beach visit, man. Yeah, a lot of my first times, man. I thank you for doing that, man,
Sure.
and remembering how deficient I was, and things that I lacked experiencing it, and yeah, I really appreciate it. But I want to share my story with you all, just watching my experience growing up, life before prison, during prison, and even after prison. It's not unique to me and only to me, but I'm sharing my story. Hopefully I can impact someone's life, and hopefully that if you all just watching, know someone that's going through the similar experiences, and hopefully it can impact them. Share this clip with them. Share the clip with them. Tell them to support Banky. Banky got a lot of impactful and motivational videos on there that can help them out. So as Banky said, I'm from Danville, Virginia. Born and raised. I never lived anywhere else besides Danville. So I'm the oldest of 3 siblings. I got a younger sister, younger brother. Grew up in a single parent household. I grew up in low income project housing. Purton Woods, Virginia, if y'all know. Purton Woods in Danville, for y'all that don't know. Man, growing up, I didn't have too much mentorship staying in project housing. I gravitated to my surroundings, the people that was around me, the adults, and growing up in that type of environment, you know, it won't too much positive stuff. And then those that was on doing the positive things, it wasn't glorified. The people, the dope boys, the hustlers, the robbers, the people that had the mean rumble gangs, those were glorified.
Still to this day.
Yeah, no
Still
doubt.
to this day.
And those are the individuals that I looked up to. So growing up, I gravitated towards that. I got into the streets. My mother did her best, being a single parent. She did her best. She told me the right things to do. I was hard-headed, just like most delinquent youth. So I did what I wanted to do, and trouble ensued. I caught my first charge, cocaine possession, at 13 years old at school, on school grounds. I went upstate. That's the juvenile penitentiary for those who don't know. Bonaire was the first institution I went to. They gave me 2 to 5 months, not 2 to 5 years.
Big difference.
Yeah, a little smack on the wrist.
Yeah.
But to a kid though, I mean that was
a lifetime.
Yeah. 2 months is a long time, man. and and being in an institutional setting, man. So anyway, that was my first charge, man, and from that point on, it was trouble started to snowball, man. I ended up catching trespassing charges, assault and battery charges, malicious wounding charges, shoplifting charges. Um,
Oh, you
yeah,
just getting it in. Boy.
a bunch of
getting it in.
yeah, a bunch of foolishness, man. And then I went upstate again. I went to Barrett the second time, man. Barrett Learning Center. I got 69 that time, and but before I even went up there, they put me in a group home. And in my mind, I was thinking that I was gonna be in a group home, man, till I was 21. And at that time I think I was like 15 years old. So I'm thinking I was gonna be there for a long time. So I went in there with an attitude anyway. I ain't going to that the group home with a open mindset of
Right.
trying to be receptive to what they were saying.
Trying to
The
do,
staff,
yeah.
they was trying to mentor me, but I went in there thinking I was gonna be in there for a long time. So anyway, I caught another charge while in the group home. That's the malicious wounding charge, and the violation of parole. That sent me back upstate. They gave me 69 for that. So on that stint, I ended up doing a total of 13 months, and that was definitely a long time for a juvenile, man.
And how old were you?
When I came home, I was 16.
Wow.
When I came home, yeah, it was 13 months. So 7 months in the detention home and 6 months upstate. So yeah, when I came home, I was doing the right thing. I stayed out for probably about 9 or 10 months, which during that time, that was the longest stint that I had without getting in trouble. And I was actually making conscious efforts not to get in trouble. And one day I was on Lennox Court, that's in Danville, and a childhood friend I grew up with, he came around the way and said he had beef. And so this guy, he's from my childhood friend, he's from Purton Woods as well, man. Same projects and all that, man. Been knowing him since I was day high, man. This guy used to spend a night over his house. He used to spend a night in my house, man, playing the video game consoles all night, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we did all that, man. Going exploring in the woods, man, doing our little delinquent stuff. We did all that together. But anyway, so he came around the way and said he had beef. And my personality, man, I'm very protective of the people that's close to me, people that's dear to me, I'm very protective of them. And so he came around and said he had beef, and I told him, asked him, did he want to go straighten? He was like, yeah. And so I got my gun. It was another childhood friend that was there, and he accompanied us, so it was 3 of us. So we get in the car, and this childhood friend I'm speaking of, he's a little older than me. I think he was like 20 at the time, 20, 21.
Right.
And the other guy, he was maybe 20, 21 too. So I'm the youngest, but I'm the wild one.
Right.
Out of the 3. Yeah, I'm the wild one.
Mm-hmm.
So we went over there. It's on the south side of Danville. I'm from the north side. And we get to an apartment complex, another low-income project housing. We get in there. It's an apartment full of people. Music playing and all that. A lot of guys, a lot of shorties was in there. And my friend, he was trying to let me know that who the individual was, because there's mad dudes in there. And so we went upstairs. He's like, yo, that's dude, blah, blah, blah. He gonna set it. I'm like, I checked the gun, you know what I'm saying, make sure the bullets and everything was good. So we came back downstairs. I sat on the sofa. My friend stood by the TV. They had a floor model TV. And this guy walked past, and he went and looked out the window. So you got 3 guys in an apartment that's not from there, and he could kind of feel that something
wrong, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he knew my friend, because my friend, right, and what's crazy, my friend, I didn't find out this until after I got locked up, but my friend was dating this shorty. And the dude, this guy that walked past my friend, the guy that we ready to straighten, he got a baby by the girl, and I didn't know that. So that was his child's mother, and he had every right to be there. But my friend was jealous, and that was what spearheaded the whole thing. Jealousy, man, behind the girl, yo. And
it always is.
Yeah. But I didn't. Growing up, as I said, I didn't have a father. So at least this guy was still coming by the crib, he was still involved in his child's life,
Right.
and his child's mother's life. At least he was doing that. My father got my mother pregnant, and shortly thereafter, my sister, we got the same father, and he dipped on her. You know what I'm saying? I can't even remember the dude. If he was standing right here beside me, I wouldn't know. If he was walking down this beach line, the shore line,
Wow.
I wouldn't know.
Wow.
I wouldn't know. Yeah, I don't know. Even to this day, I don't know if he's dead or alive. I don't say that to be bitter. I just don't know him. You know. So anyway, this guy walked past and he looked out the blind. He see a truck out there, and he feels something is up. You know, the other guys and other people that's in the apartment, they ain't really tripping though. Music playing and all that. Little kids running around in the apartment. And when the guy left from the blinds, and as he walked past my friend sucker punch, he stole him, hit him in the jaw. Dude fell over on the coffee table. They get to rumbling and all that. Lamps get knocked over, picture frames and everything. So I get up from the sofa and I come around and they getting it in. And I mean, to be honest, dude was giving my friend a good one. Like, yeah, for real.
He was whooping him?
Yeah, he was getting out on it for real. He was holding it down.
Oh,
he was holding it down, man. And I don't know, maybe my friend bit off a little more he could chew. But he was holding it down, man. And so they rumbling, man. Things getting knocked over and everything. I come around. Then my other friend, he come around. And when they get on the ground, then my other friend come on. He had the Gore-Tex boots on. He come with that joint. He started stumping the dude while he was on the ground. So now they banking the dude because the dude was getting out on my friend. So they banking him. And then now you got people that's you got a couple of guys ready to come down the stairway because they hear all the commotion. You got people and shorties coming out of the kitchen trying to see what's up.
Word.
So when I see them coming, I reach for the gun to let them know that I was holding and to keep them at bay. So I'm holding the gun like this. I ain't pulled it out yet, but I'm holding the gun, let them know it's strapped. And so when my friend get on top of the guy, and they on the sofa this time, and I pull the gun out, it wasn't no plan for me to shoot the guy, for me to kill the guy. It wasn't no plan. I didn't tell him. I just told him I'd go with you, you know, for you to straighten him, hold you down, whatnot. But I didn't tell him I was gonna shoot him. And at this point, my friend was actually on top of the dude, so we could have left.
Right.
It didn't even have to happen, yo. So I pulled the gun out and I told my friend to move. And when he looked back and he seen me with the gun, and so when he looked back and he started trying to get away, and the now deceased victim, he just balled up. And I heard people yelling, "He got a gun!" Yeah, man. So I just started shooting, and the deceased victim just started hollering. He was balled up in fetus position. The bullets were hitting him. He hollering and everything. And I heard the people yelling. I remember what now I now find out was the victim. It was his child. I don't remember exactly was it a little boy or a little girl, but she was holding a little child. The child couldn't have been no more than about 1 or 2, you know. And so she was holding the child. And so people looking and everything, and we dip, we get in the truck and we leave. I didn't know dude was dead, the deceased at the time. I didn't know he was dead, but I know I was hitting him. And so we left. We get back and ran away. The crib that we was at, Shorty get a call, and whoever she was chopping it up with, they was like, "Yo, it was a shooting on the south side in Carter Village." Some guys came over there. Where? So, but she don't know it's us.
Right.
Yeah, she don't know it's us, and so they talking about it, and then when she get off the phone and she heard our adrenaline flowing and everything, Cassie just put some work in, and when she come around us and she just started picking up seeds on what we talking about, and so she was like, "Y'all was just over in Carter Village? That was y'all? The Blind just told me there was a shooting over there and the guy dead." So I'm like, "Nah, he ain't dead." And she was like, "Yeah, he is dead." And she was like, "I'm gonna go check it out." She get in her car, she go over there, came back, let him know he was dead. And by that time though, now it's on the news, the evening news.
Right.
There was a shooting, No pictures was up, and they ain't really had too much information. But so I seen it. Then started getting moving around out from then on. A couple of days later now. Oh man, yo, my childhood friend. I told you that he and the deceased victim was dating the same shorty. So when the detectives and stuff was trying to conducting their investigation, they was familiar. The people in the house and the child's deceased girl, deceased guy, she was acquainted with my man, my childhood friend. And so when the police came to holler at him, he told on me.
Wow.
He told them, yo. They did.
The same dude that you did it for.
Yeah.
Told on.
Yeah. They didn't have no idea that it was me. They knew it was a third party. They knew that the third guy, a young dark-skinned guy, with dreads, was the shooter. They knew that it wasn't my childhood friend, but the people in the house knew my friend. So again, when they went to talk to him, he told them about me. So now it got to the police swinging by my apartment. They going to my house, questioning my mother about my whereabouts. I think they went on my grandmother's crib looking for me. But the whole time I'm just moving around from house to house, man.
And at this time you 16.
Yeah.
And in your mind, has it registered to you that you just took somebody's life?
It seemed surreal, but at the same time, Banky, I knew prison was coming. It is imminent. It seemed like it was like the next, and I hadn't even got locked up. Yeah, even though I hadn't even got locked up yet, but I knew that for how I was living and everything, I knew that I was going to prison. I knew I was going to jail and everything, and even though I shot a guy and killed him, at that time I thought that what I did was right, and if someone was there telling me the right thing to do, I wasn't trying to hurt. It'd been like talking to this tree or something, man. It'd been 1 year and out the other year. But yeah, I had a hard head, yo, real hard head. But anyway, the lady whose crib I was over, when he came and let me know about the beef, I went back over her crib a few days later and had to sit down with her. We smoking and everything in the living room, and she was like, "Terrell, maybe you should turn yourself in." And she said, because we had another guy that I grew up with and ran away. He was running from the police, and the police shot him in the back and killed him. And so she used that scenario. She was like, maybe they're gonna do you like him. They already advertising on the news that you wanted, and you armed and dangerous and all that.
They had already put your name and everything
yeah,
out
now
there?
they got my pictures up there, and the pictures that they use is old pictures from the previous charge I called. Like, I don't know if y'all know, but if you catch a stealing charge or anything like that, they fingerprint you and all that type of stuff. So they using that picture of the person that they looking for, the person of interest. So man, so she tell me that when I get in sight, you know what I'm saying, of the police, that they was possibly gonna shoot to kill. And I mean, that happens all the time in our communities,
everywhere, all over the world.
Yeah, ask questions last. So that really resonated with me. And she also said that maybe they'll go lenient with you on the sentencing. And I ain't know nothing about sentencing, what the sentencing laws was, or anything like that. But it kind of went to heart what she was saying. So I ended up turning myself in. And on the way to the police station, when we get in the van on the way to the police station, the police was coming, about 5, 6 cars. The guy that was driving, he get out the van, flag the police down. I'm right there. Now, I can cut my dreads now. So I get out the van, I'm standing right there, and the police in the cars right there. He telling like, yo, Terrell right there.
Yeah.
They looking at me and everything. I'm not running or nothing. I'm there chilling. And one of the detectives came over, and the officer came over, and so he's like, "You Terrell?" So I said, "Yes, sir." And they asked me a couple of questions, and the detective asked me to turn around. No, the officer asked me to turn around. I turned around, and just like put my hands on the band. I put my hands on the band. They patted my pockets and everything and cuffed me. They ain't roughed me up or nothing.
Yeah, you got lucky.
Yeah, they ain't do none of that.
Yeah.
Maybe that was to her advice, man. And we went on down to the station, man. So anyway, they booked me for first-degree homicide, use of a firearm, and first-degree homicide and the use of a firearm and the commission of a felony. So I'm in a detention home. For those who don't know, I'm a vegetarian. And I knew, well, you know how I eat, you know, and so I knew that I was facing a lot of time, or either death. I didn't know the sentencing guidelines. I'm a kid, I'm young, and I said to myself that if I get a life sentence, that I was going to do the eat healthy thing and exercise, and that was a commitment I gave to myself then at the detention home. And
but that's incredible, just for you to even have the fortitude to think in your mind that if I do a life sentence.
Yeah.
You already calculating doing a life sentence, man. Even like with my situation, when I got in trouble, I couldn't even fathom that. But you already calculating, and you were younger than me.
Yeah.
You calculating in your brain that you might have to do a life sentence. That show you right there, man, the mentality that young people can have when you growing up in a certain type of environment, that you these things are possibilities. In other neighborhoods, these things is not even. It's not even in a person's conscious mind. You know what I'm saying?
It's not even part of the conversation.
Yeah, it's a 16-year-old kid. You not even thinking in your brain nothing, let alone penitentiary, let alone a life sentence.
Yeah.
You know, so that's crazy. But
So that's what I was thinking about, man. Serving life in prison, or either they was gonna kill me. And now that I know that you can only get the death sentence, you got a capital offense.
Right.
So I didn't know that at the time, man. And so they end up sentencing me to 30 years for first-degree homicide and 3 years for the use of a firearm. 33 years total, nothing suspended. All right. So before they sentenced me, they certified me to try me as an adult. So when they certified me to try me as an adult, they put me in the city jail. So now I'm not in the detention home. So now I'm in the city jail, and that was crazy, man. I'm in the city jail, and I'm used to being like going upstate and being in the detention home around a bunch of kids, but this was my first time being in around adults. And it was one other guy. He was in another block. There was 16 as well. But everybody in there was adults and men. Luckily, though, I knew a lot of the people that's in there, so I ain't had no problems in the jail or whatnot. And in fact, some of the people I met in jail did what they could as far as giving me pointers about what to expect in prison and what to expect of the road and everything. And so anyway, when I get sentenced, they sentence me to 30 years for the body, 3 years for the use of firearm, and I go to penitentiary.
So you go. What year is this?
Now I'm 17.
I know, but what year? What's the year?
1997.
So 1997. So the laws had already changed. And now you're doing 85%.
Yes.
So they're expecting you to do, how much time you have to do before you can get out?
85% of that sentence, and actually it's 92%. And you have to get your good time to get it down to GCA level 1 to get your good time to get 85%. So actually you're serving 92% here in Virginia, the Commonwealth.
So had you had to do your whole bit, what year did they have you mandatory?
So this 1997, my mandatory date was in July the 14th, 2026.
26, and right now it's 2021.
Yeah.
So you in the free world, so you still had extra time to do. Had not you been gifted with parole.
Yeah, recently been released.
Right.
Yeah.
So that calculated in your brain when you was in there though, was you saying to yourself at 16 that I'm gonna be such and such age when I get out, you know, if you get to the last bit of your sentence, because that's what I tell dudes, that ain't even guaranteed, but was you calculating that type of stuff in your brain?
People was giving me advice, man, to remain hopeful, you know what I'm saying? But prison in itself ain't the type of environment to give a person hope. You know, people like yourself, though, and the older people that had me under their wings, I mean, that's what y'all was doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm running around drinking the little penitentiary wine, you know what I'm saying, and smoking the weed, and, you know, but I won't fighting and carrying on. I wasn't into none of that type of stuff. But
Right.
but I mean, I was bidding. I was in bid mode, and I was doing my little reading and study thing though. But I mean, it was kind of in there though that maybe it's a possibility I get out earlier, but I really wasn't thinking about it at this time. At this point in my bed, I really wasn't thinking about it that much though. So when I get to Southampton receiving, I meet some good dudes, man. They come lifelong friends.
Right.
One of them in particular, my man Reginald Dwayne Betts. I met him in Southampton.
Big shout out.
Yeah, I met him in Southampton receiving. Another good friend I became acquainted with, and still to this day, my man Divine Gerard Smith. He's still locked up, but he on St. Bride's Correctional Center. He's doing big things too on the inside. And I met several more though, but these guys that I'm still in contact with to this day. Roger Fentress, Fats up in Richmond. Yeah, we communicate all the time.
That's in the inception, the beginning of your bid. You met these dudes, and you was able to form lifelong relationships with them.
Yeah, and all of us at that time was juveniles. We had yellow ID cards.
ID cards. Yeah, you get a different color card, so they know, the administration know, and other people know
Yeah.
they underage, but yet they in grown man penitentiary.
Yeah, and that was crazy.
That's how I run. That's crazy.
Yeah,
I
you
remember
sentence me as an adult, put me in prison.
As an adult.
But I can't subscribe to Adult Men's Magazine.
Yeah, you can't.
Playboy magazine.
Couldn't get cigarettes. None of that stuff.
What is it? Double XL. You know, because of the content. Even something as simple as a Source magazine. You know,
Right.
Because it's an adult magazine.
And the first person I met that had a yellow ID too, he coincidentally was from Danville too. I don't know if you ever knew. You ever knew Billy Curry?
No, I don't know him, but I heard him.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
As I remember him being on Mecklenburg with me at Mecklenburg, he was like 15 or 16. They had him in segregation because they didn't want to let him out because he was so young. He had the yellow ID.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he ended up doing a good amount of time
Yeah.
too, probably about 20-something years. But he was from Danville.
Yeah, something as simple as when you somebody couldn't even get a cigarette lighter. You couldn't even get an ashtray. You know, when you're making the incense, even just to put an incense in, because it says tobacco paraphernalia.
Right.
So I couldn't even buy an ashtray. So anyway, I meet these guys, my friends, man, at receiving, and we go to Southampton Farm. You know about Southampton Farm. The name is Southampton Correctional Center, but the nickname is
Gladiator School.
Yeah, I mean, that'll put it in context itself. You know, that'll give you some type of insight on like what type of environment that was, yo. Southampton, yo, whew, man, that joint, man.
Different,
man,
right?
yeah,
It let you know now. Yeah, this real. This is where I'm gonna be at, and then you got to get that in your brain that not only this is real, this is where I'm gonna be at, but then how long you got to be there.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Man, I'm seeing dudes on Banky, they in the shower with their boots on. They butt naked now, but they in the shower with their boots on. So I'm like,
you got to stay ready.
Yeah,
you got to stay ready.
Why he in the shower with his? I'm talking about the joints tied up tight.
Yeah.
Like some military stuff.
Yeah.
So, and then I'm seeing guys with their boxers on, and I see a string wrapped around their waist. So I'm like, what's on the string? I later found out though that they got their speeds, you know what I'm saying, hanging in their boxers.
They got that Bethlehem, baby.
Yeah, and the guys got a string wrapped around their waist. They got their speeds right here, the Bethlehem on the inside while they're in the shower.
Yeah.
And so I'm seeing this, man.
Lifestyle, that's what I'm trying to tell you, is a whole different lifestyle, and it be blowing your mind because you seeing things you ain't never seen before, you experiencing things you ain't never experienced before, and then you trying to process all this information, and then you trying to ask yourself, how can I live like this, or how can people live like this?
Yeah.
But then you got to get that reality in your head. Not only how can people live like this, you're gonna have to live like this because there's no way out. Once you in there, you in there.
This is the new norm.
Yeah,
man.
this is your lifestyle.
That's what it is.
And then you got to, like I say, you got to do all of that, and at the same time, you missing your family. The reality setting in there that all the things that you used to like to do, all the things that you had fun to do, they gone.
Yeah,
they gone. You got to find something else to occupy your mind, to occupy your time, and to keep you sane at the same time.
Yeah.
So you doing all of this at 16, 17 years old, so I know that there was a whole lot to take in on you.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's amazing that to always now fast forward to this amount of time that you will run into somebody at the beginning of your sentence that will eventually be the person that facilitated you getting out even earlier than you were supposed to.
Yeah.
That right there that's amazing.
Story in itself.
A story in itself.
Yeah.
The bacon special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man. My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.